Losing his last.
Welcome back, guys. The Huk Idra rivalry continues right here on Puckett's Picks as we take a look at their losers bracket rematch from our Dallas opener. These two first met up in pool play where Idra looked poised to sweep the series after a strong macro performance in Game 1, but an amazing hallucination in Game 2 tricked Idra into quitting early, giving Huk all the momentum he needed to steal the series 2-1. Now later in the tournament, Idra was given a chance for redemption as the two bitter rivals met up again in losers bracket round 6. Huk would have a 2-1 lead in the best of 7 series going into Game 4, and here's what I want you to look out for. First off, check out the missed opportunity around the 8 minutes and 30-second mark. And then number 2, watch for the building of the creep highway. And number 3, I love the all-in push at the end of the game and the use of spine crawlers as an offensive weapon. It's a good one. Here it is. It's Game 4 on IC Cup Test Bug.
Idra and Huk have enormous fan bases, well known for having impressive results on all sides. And we are now in Game 4. That is correct. Game 4 of this extended series. Huk starting up 2-1. Huk in the south position as that red Protoss. And in the top is EG's Idra as the blue Zerg.
I think there is basically 2 words that can describe how I'm feeling right now as we prepare for the opening moments of this match and inevitably the outcome, and that is nerd chills. I am so excited for this. We have got Huk in the metal area, and then once again that Zerg, shame on you, polluting the lush or trying to be lush green forests. Now, didn't we see another map? Yeah, Sheth versus Huk took place on this map in these exact same positions and ultimately ended up working out really good for Huk. So, you know, considering that Huk said, hey, I've only played this map 3 times, it's going to be for him not too shabby that he plays the map in the same position versus an opponent which is the same race in the same position that he played last time.
Now, one thing to note about Huk, because he plays so much, not just in terms of his practice, but also streaming on his Justin TV stream on Ladder. I mean, Huk is the player who is capable of selecting a build right before the match. There's a lot more players out there who prepare a build for the match and then execute it. They know what they're going to do weeks in advance and just work on tuning it. But we heard Huk go for Void Rays in his previous match against Sheth, noting that it was a bit more of a decision as opposed to a long pre-planned style. So there's a lot of thinking going on for Huk right now. How exactly does he want to open? Idra actually going to be opting for the exact same style we've seen him do in those previous games against Huk, and he might be able to get them.
Oh, big
starting
victory.
the match off on the right foot.
Yeah, big victory indeed. Now, as you'd mentioned, Idra starting off like he had in the previous games, whether or not he got that hatchery down right away, of course it is beneficial that he did, but pool is already done. So at this point, we'll usually see an extractor come down and then only a small amount of drones. We've seen him put 1, we've seen him put 2, not really forcing that gas so quickly, but the hatchery did get down a lot sooner. The overlords are now making it into the base of Huk. Huk's going to be taking his second gas. Of course, the Psy-Core at the front, and he's going to be checking things out over here. Sees the pylon go in, so Idra knows exactly where his opponent is. He'll now send these initial Zerglings out to do some peeking.
And ooh, this is cool. We're seeing a Stalker pop out for Huk. Could mean a number of things. Huk used to love doing a Zealot Stalker push. Oh my gosh! Idra waltzes right on in. Well, drones actually don't take up any space. They don't use matter wheat. So that will allow Idra that easy scout into the base.
Yep.
But Huk used to love to do that Zealot Stalker push. Again, the Stalker very easy to pick off that drone in the main. However, it looks like Huk is instead favoring earlier Stalkers nowadays, so that way he can deal with Zergling harass at his natural hatchment or his natural nexus a little bit more easily.
Yeah, it's some great vision already for Idra here as he spots a probe with an Overlord making his way across the map. Zerglings that were actually going to the tower then break off to take out that probe, of course, with speed not yet completed and actually not yet even started. There it just started, so 5 minutes and 15 seconds in game time is when that speed is starting. Here we see that Zealot and Stalker move out, and we'll lose a few Zerglings in this, but not necessarily an immediate threat.
This one Stalker trying to poke around and find out if anything else is sneaking its way over there. In particular, Overlords are always a useful unit to take down early. Huk now moving down the ramp. Looks like he's gearing up to take that expansion. Going to mine some money before he does so. Idra is not over-responding, making just barely enough Zerglings, and will begin poking at that hatch. Nothing too exceptional has occurred except for this expansion weed. Oh my gosh, it is very much so getting started. And here comes a round of sentries.
Yeah, we've also got a bunch of Zerglings now coming out, about 9-10 Zerglings here for Idra. Speed is going to be completing, it's at about 70% right now, and these Zerglings are going to meet up with these sentries.
Oh, Idra losing a ton of those early Zerglings due to some amazing force fields by Huk. And Huk, I think, is doing the smart move, getting hallucinate. He doesn't know if it's time to push yet. He could get overrun by Zerglings. What we do know is that Idra is forced to make at least some defense to respond to that attack.
Yeah, and speed is going to finish. Defense is 1 spine crawler so far, and we do have 4 Zerglings, but the drone production continues up while the lair is also currently being constructed. Zergling's going to continue to poke here, see what he's got. Definitely saw the heavy sentries and the Zealots, knows that there is a minimal amount of Stalkers, and I believe has also gained a vision of that expansion. No, he does not know that is there yet, has not been able to break that vision barrier and see what lies beyond the fog of war.
Looks like Huk now moving out to the right side of the map. I love when Huk hugs the walls very, very tightly. Makes sure that he always has some room to do some force fielding. Idra holding control of that essential Xel'Naga watchtower. Huk, moving out again, hugging these walls, and he will be able to spot an Overlord. Another big free kill. Idra with the phenomenal reaction time, but it is not going to be enough. It does get picked off. And it looks like Idra is going for Hydralisks to defend this push.
Oh, and we have Zerglings inside the natural here. A couple of Zealots are going to be able to defend, but they're going to oh no, he did not go right into the main. Maybe he expected a warp in right there, but he decided to retreat back. And you know what? As much as it seems like, why didn't you just go in there and make Probe's lives miserable? He doesn't have much else aside from these Zerglings, and we have some Hydralisks coming out right now, so I guess it would have been much better to hold on to those and save those. Hallucinated Phoenix going out now, scouting around the map, but also give Idra an idea that there is indeed Hallucinate out on the table, so just be aware of that. And our first Hydras are on their way with the Groove Spines about to complete.
Huge amount of Zealots and Sentries moving out right now. With that Overlord speed rapidly finishing up, that means that EG Idra can make a creep highway to Huk's base, but Huk already has a lot of units out there and throws down some amazing force fields and traps those Hydras. Will end up obliterating 3 of them. A 4th one gets caught as well.
And that happening right before Groove Spine finish. That's
very nicely timed.
Yeah.
In camp, Huk, do we have any other gateways going down? It looks like just the one. Fairly conservative play from Huk, not doing any kind of robo play. Both players taking out their destructible rocks so they can get those hidden Xel'Naga watchtowers. And here comes the Overlords. It might be a creep highway coming up real soon.
Yeah, I think that's exactly, but he's got to be careful. We are going to see this army right over here. He doesn't want to get caught off guard, and he is. Couple force fields go down, but has not wasted them all. Going to go ahead and engage, letting these Zerglings come in. Do have a nice little arc initially on the Hydras, but it does look like Huk will be able to do some damage to that initial army. Reinforcements starting to come out, though. Huk on the retreat. He takes out a couple sentries there and will move back as Huk is in danger at this point, of course, getting off the creep there. Huk going to have the advantage of being able to run away, and that is indeed a creep highway right there.
Looks like he decided to take the off-ramp, take the side streets, but there's more Zerglings and Hydras beginning to work their way in. There's a Chrono Boost going down on an Immortal. Any unit that Huk can get at this point would be valuable. He lost so many Zealots, so that means that those Zerglings are going to be even more potent. He needs to be careful. He needs to pull back and just sack these buildings. He has no easy entrance. He's just going to go out and try to dart into the front, throwing down some force fields, blocking out the Zerglings, but there are not that many units for Protoss, and those Hydralisks known to pick off gateway units so quickly. The Immortal is about 75% complete, but it is going to get picked off. Huk does get that money refunded to him. More cannons going down right now as we see, oh my god, the spine crawlers making their way up to the front.
Oh, wow.
Idra might be able to even up the series with this push, and there's the good game from Huk.
Wow.
Resetting the series, a best of 3.